Good afternoon. This is Reverend Judy Marie, and I'm anxious to share with you today another taste of A Course in Miracles. We're going to be covering Lesson 33, 34, 35, and 36, but I always like to start with something from the Manual for Teachers first. So we're going to cover Chapter 10, just a little bit of it. It says, "How is judgment relinquished?" Well, judgment, like other devices by which the world of illusions is maintained, is totally misunderstood by the world. It is actually confused with wisdom and substitutes for truth. All judgments are relative, not absolute. What is good judgment to one is bad judgment to another. And this judgment is neither good nor bad. The only judgment there is, and it is the only one. God's Son is guiltless, and sin does not exist. So as you think about that, I'm going to go on to the text. In chapter 9 in the text is the acceptance of the atonement. Atonement can come only through forgiveness. Unconditional forgiveness. So we begin the study of the ego's fear of the atonement principle. So the purpose of this course is to help us to remember what we are. And if we believe that what we are is fearful, then it must follow that you will be not able to learn the course. Yet the reason of the course is that you do not know what you are. It is the ego that tries to prevent us from learning the truth about ourselves. We are pure love. We are the image and likeness of God. And we find in Lesson 33 that says there is another way of looking at the world. Now today's idea is an attempt to recognize that you can shift your perception of the world in both its outer and inner aspects. Jesus is not simply presenting us with a set of metaphysical principles to master intellectually. He is training us to become increasingly vigilant as we go throughout our day. As soon as we become aware of feelings of distress, upset, anger, or frightened, or even guilt, we would quickly go to Him and say, "Help! Help me see this differently." And in Lesson 34, it says, "I could see peace instead of this." The idea of today begins to describe the conditions that prevail in other ways of seeing. Peace of mind is clearly an internal matter. It must begin with our own thoughts and then extend outward. It is from our peace of mind that a peaceful perception of the world arises. Our only function is to believe in the presence and power of the divine energy of love, to do the things that creates a peaceful perception. And Lesson 35 says, "My mind is part of God's. I am very holy." Today's idea does not describe the way you see yourself now. It does, however, describe the vision and what your vision will show you. It's difficult for anyone who thinks he is in this world to believe this for himself. Jesus is letting us know that He knows this is not how we see ourselves. And He does not expect us to believe what He says about us now. His purpose is to begin the process of teaching us there is a true alternative in our minds. And in Lesson 36, "My holiness envelops everything I see." Today's idea expands the ideas from the Lesson 35. From the perceiver to the perceived. You are holy because your mind is part of God's. This and this becomes who you truly are. Your sight must be holy as well. Your sight is related to His holiness, not to your ego, and therefore not to your body. God's mind is scentless. Therefore, so is yours. Practice these lessons at least 3 or 4 times a day. This is allowing your mind to think differently than what you have been previously thinking. To accept the fact that you are guiltless allows you to love yourself unconditionally. And that's what the teaching of the Course in Miracles is all about, is how to become aware that you are the living, loving example, just as Jesus was, of the God within. And I'll be covering lesson 37, 38, 39, and 40 next week. Have a great week, and I look forward to you then. And know always that I love you.